Bring my phone, please. Plugged in the living room. Hello. I forgot to bring my phone, so I'm just sounding Wesley to get it. And then I can sit down and start the live. Hope everybody's well. I've left you something to see while I wait. I've just been rushing around, having a drink, going to the loo, getting Albie in because he was barking. And then realised I hadn't got my phone ready. That's in the other room. I've had it charging up ready. So how's everybody doing? Let me just see if I've gone on live all right. It's just behind the settee. Thank you. I've just had to give him instructions on where it is, so it'll be here soon and then we can get going. Right, so it is Saturday, the 30th of May, everybody. Thank you. I'll just get my phone on and then we can just hopefully see the comments. There we go, I can see I've gone live and I can see there, we're on. Lovely. At the moment it looks as if there's just me because I haven't got any comments, so that's all right, the fact that I was rushing around. Give it a little while. I don't know if anybody's going to join us this evening. It's just gone 7:30. Hello, hope everyone's well. It's a really warm day, very, very sunny. This is what I've got for you to make today. I thought I might start with this because it takes a little bit of me thinking. Hi Margaret, thanks for joining us. I think it's a bit of a warm day today, so we might have a few people still in the garden and maybe they'll join us a bit later as it starts to cool down. It's really warm in here, so I have got my fan on behind me, so if that's disturbing anybody, let me know. This is my prototype bag that I've made, so it's not actually tip-top design like made, but we're going to make one together. And I have made it so that I'm actually going to take that ribbon out because I think I might use that ribbon for the one we make. Pop that there. I made it so it will fit a little miniature bottle of fizz or a little miniature, oh sorry, I'm not with my thing, and there's still room in there for a little box of chocolates or a candle or a little I can't think what I was going to say, anyway, some other little gift as well, so you can get quite a bit in it. But I've used 2 pieces of A4, which was the main thing I wanted to do, was make a gift bag that would fit with 2 pieces of A4. So it is a little bit too short for if you put a full bottle in. If you put a full bottle in, you might want to just add an extra panel, but we're just going to do it at this size for now. Hi Joanne, thanks for joining. I'm just showing what I'm going to be making today. I've used 2 pieces of A4 and some of Dawn's background papers that came from her pink champagne mini kit. So that's what we're going to do. I've got all the little bits ready cut out. I'll show you what to do, and we're also going to then go on to make the little card that you can see there at the top. So I've got those 2 projects really are the ones that I had in mind for today. I'll just pop in there. Stay, that's it. And we might put a bit of decorative flowers on here as well. Right, okay, so shall I get going on this? I have written down some instructions. Before I started, I've cut out a few little bits and pieces from the Cocktail Couture kit, so I'll just show you that one. It's this kit here. So this is a brand new one. I'll open it up for you. So you could make your little gift bag in any colour to match your you know, your chosen little gift that you're putting in, or any paper. So this one's Cocktail Couture, which Dawn has got on her website, digital and paper I think she's got. So we've got a Prosecco, a whiskey, Life is better with sex on the beach, which I didn't know, but there you go. Mojito, that's one of my favourite drinks. And Bellini, champagne, strawberry daiquiri, different vodka drinks, cosmopolitan, such like, bit of gin and tonic, and pina colada. Oh, and we've also got those porn star martini ones, and that's the one I did last week when I did the card for you with the ziggy zaggy fold that I did. Can't remember what you call it. So that was what we did last week. And there's another little cocktail one. And there's more tequila sunrise as well. So there's got to be some somebody's favourite drink's got to be in there that you could make a gift bag for. And they're great for toppers and for making little cards. Good for any celebrations. So let's have a little go start with what I've got prepared for you today. Right, I've got a couple of bits of A4 paper, which are just this kind at the minute that I've been using to print on. And I've got my measurements. I'm going to just get my board up because I'm going to need my bigger board. That's got my inches on. Yeah, that's on inches. So I'm doing it all on inches. And I tried to do it. Hi Louise, hi Carol. It's still quite warm here, so I've got my fan on behind me. If you can hear it and it's annoying, just let me know. But I've just got it on the low setting just to get a little bit of air moving, because I am in my conservatory, so it does get a bit warm. And we're just going to make a gift bag, and I set myself the challenge of making it out of 2 A4 pieces of paper, and I chose the width of the bag. Just sort of thought it was based on kind of a bottly kind of shape. So I'll tell you what they are. You can probably adapt it. How I did it initially was I had a Christmas bottle gift bag, which I deconstructed and I worked out how they'd made it, and then I transferred it to a A4 pieces of paper to the size I wanted. So that's how I did it. That's a good tip if you've got gift bags and you want to recreate them, take them apart and see what you can do with them. So first of all, we're going to score at 1/2 inch for this one. Probably not in the right tool here. Then we're going to do a side panel is going to be 3.5. So we're actually going to score the next one at 4, and that'll give us the 1, 2, 3.5. And it leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.25 for the widest side. So if you wanted to make it a wider bag and have a narrower side piece, you could do that. But what you need to have is a tab on either on one side of it. That's going to be the bit that you stick things to. Hi Jackie, we're only just getting going. So I'm just scoring my pieces of paper to make my gift bag. So I've got one done, and then we're going to do the second one. I've got to think a bit with this. I'm hoping I don't get a bit mixed up. So we're going to 1/2 inch, then we're going to 4, so that one of our sides is 3.5, and then we've got a remainder of 4.25 on that wider side. Right, the next thing I want to do is look at my 3.5 panel here, and I want to score that right down the middle. So I've worked out that that is at 2.25, and that takes me down the middle of that panel here. So that's going to be my side where the fold is there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same again on this one. Bear with me. If I go slowly, I'm less likely to make a mistake because I have only made that one. So 2.25 to get halfway down. So basically, whatever your side panel is, you're going to put a score line halfway down. Right, now we need to make a base. Hi Michelle, thanks for joining in. You're a very busy bee with those newsletters, but they are really good. So I look as if I'm getting a bit of buffering today as well. So let's hope that people can still join in. Right, so we're now going to turn around and make the base, which is going to hold the that bottom bit. So we need to make our bottom area. And we're going to Let me just get me a little bit of paper so I don't forget what I'm doing. 1.5 and 3 I'm scoring at. So I'm going to turn it through 90 degrees and I'm going to score it at 1.5 and 3. So if you want to make this bit smaller, you can again. Just have a little play around. So that's the first one. And then I want to do the same on the second one. The trickiest bit I find is actually putting them together, because I'll probably forget where I'm going. So that was 1.5 and 3. Whoops. There. This is not the best paper, so you'll see I've gone a bit too heavy on that. And put a hole in it, but I'm not going to worry, because I decided, because I have used quite thin paper, that I'm going to reinforce it with washi tape. So I've already decided that, because I am sometimes a bit heavy with my scoring, so just be careful with your scoring. Now we need to do our angles. So let's put that one up there again. I'll just go back to the tool that came with this, so maybe not doing it as hard. And I'm going to use actually my ruler, because to get it in the right place. So what I'm looking for is the intersection here between the middle line of my side and the top one. So when you look at the bottom here, I don't know if you can see in the white, I've got a square area which is divided into 4 with the score lines. I'm going to go to this top one in the middle there. And I want to then go directly through this next one here, this intersection. And I'm going to go directly through that across. So I'm going to use my ruler, because it's quite tricky getting it on the scoreboard, I found. So I'm just going to score like that. And this was enough of a score when I was doing it. You can see it just about. You probably can't, but I can. So maybe I should have done it in pencil so you could see it all. Because I'm looking on there and you can't see a thing, can you? Let me use my magic pen. Right, so this is my middle line, which I scored down. Let me just go down there with the pen so you can roughly see it. There you go. This was the 3, the one marked at 4 inches, wasn't it? So that was the other end. I'm going to do this one with the pen so you can see what I'm doing, because I've realised that you haven't got a clue what I'm doing because you cannot see. Sorry about that scribbly, that wobbly line. Right. We then also have got 2 score lines along the bottom here. Like that and like that. So that's divided that little bottom section into my squares. So hopefully you can see that now. I've put some blue lines on, I'm hoping. So I'm going to go to this intersection here where I've put a dot, this intersection there where I've put a dot, and then I'm going to go from one point to the other, and I'm going to carry on down to the end of the paper. So through those points to here. So that's where the line is. That's where I've scored. All right. I'm just going to go and do these other ones anyway, because I found if I had the other ones in as well, it helped when I was doing my folding. So I'm going to go from this one to this one. That middle one again. There. Just going to score it with my tool. I'm not doing it on my board because it was a bit tricky. So that's that one. And I'm going to leave that one for the minute. Let's get the other one down. So I'll do it again with the pen. Hopefully you can see a bit better now with this. So I've scored it at 1/2 inch, which I will now put in blue for you to see. Sorry. I just realised there when I looked up and I thought I can't see what I'm doing, so you won't be able to see either. So let's just get the blue line on there. Then I scored again, that was 2 1/4, and then this one is at the 4 inch. So that whole little panel is 3 1/2. and then you've got a 1/2 inch tab. So there's my blue lines again, so you can see. And along the bottom, just repeating it again for you, it was scored at 1.5. Put the blue in, and we scored at 3. That's it there. Just put a mark so I can see where I am. There we go. Scored that one at 3. All right. So there you can see your blue lines nicely. So again, I'm going to go to the middle one, middle for diddle. I'll put a dot on on the corners there, like that, and we're going to come down from that one corner to one corner and all the way across. I'm going to go to that corner and all the way across. Right, lovely. Now let me have a think. Okay, right, what I'm going to do is we're going to have the hard bit of sticking it together now, which is the bit I didn't like doing. I'm going to imagine that they're going to stick together like that. Look, so the little tab here is going to go underneath this long side, so it'll go tab, that's our side part, that's our front, that's our other side, and then that's our back. So it's going to stick there. But I then want to carry on that line down. I'll try so you can see what I'm doing. Just going to get my line again where I'm sticking them together like that. And I'm going to get my score line along here again there, so they should join up. Score there. Well, I've actually scored it on the other one because I was so busy doing it in pencil. And then I'm just going to flip it over that way. Sorry, I've got my pencil lid in my mouth so I can get the other score line in. I'm doing this all now so you can see. That's it. And I'm going to go along there. Right. So now before I go, I'm going to just check that I've scored everything. I threw the pen lid away, didn't I? Right. Let's go over the top of all these so you can see the shapes. Hopefully you can see what I've done. I'm going to just check I've scored down my lines. Check I've scored down that one. That little one over in this corner. Hi Julie, thanks for joining us. We're just doing the hard bit of the box. Well, I find that the next bit's my hardest bit, is making sure I don't get them wrong when I stick them together. Right, that's it. That's there, just making sure I've scored. I'm showing you with the blue pen so you can see it. That's it. And I'm just making sure that I've scored down all my lines. Then what we can do is actually burnish everything now. So we're going to fold everything to make sure that they're all going to fold where we want them, like that. I'm going to give that a little one a go, give that a little one a go. Just make sure that I've got all of my little lines scored. I'm going to do them all ways. That's it. Right, lovely. I'll do the same on this one. Score all your lines, burnish them down, and try not to do what I've done, which is I've gone a bit heavy-handed on my score lines, so my paper is a little bit of, there's a few little tears coming in. Maybe go for slightly more. This is a low weight paper that I had. But there we go. So I've done all the folds. I think I've gone all ways with it to make sure that it's going to work. Actually, that's going to be going that way around. And there we go. We'll just make sure that they fold all the ways, back and front. because I can't remember which way they go, so I'm going to make sure all my score lines are going, they'll go both ways. And just on this one as well, make sure I can go that way with it and that way with it. Hopefully I've done all the right scoring lines. We shall find out. There's another little one. There's another little one down there. Forgot about that little fella. Come back on that one. That's it. So we should have them all scored. And then I'm going to plug my heat gun in and get rid of my marks. So this is my little magic pen that's used for dressmaking. So you might have them. There we go. There you are. So then I've got rid of all my my lines there using that. So that's just a nice little tool to have. Right, now we're going to try and do a sticking together bit. So what we said before, we had got to make sure I've got my foldy bits on the bottom. And I've got to get them opposite each other. So I'm going to need a side and then a front, then a side, then a front. So I want to lay them all in position there. I'm going to put some tape down this side because I know that's where I want it now. Oh, it's hard work on a hot day doing this. Trying to think what I'm doing. So I'm going to stick it with this glue. You can use whatever you want. I just think it's going to go together well with that. There we go. Has everybody been out in the garden today? Oh, I'm tapping my paper with it because it's so strong. I took myself off for a little wander to go and thought, oh, I'm going to look at that little showroom with the bathrooms and the kitchens for a little run out. But I hadn't read the website properly. So of course I got there and they just shut about half an hour before I got there. Sorry, I'm just going to move these out of the way so they're not in my way because I'm trying to see what I'm doing. So that pen is a one that is used for dressmaking, and it's it'll make a mark and then you heat it and the ink goes away. So don't think Dawn's got them on her website. If you message me, Michelle, I can let you know where I got that from. I got a packet of like that little pen and then a whole load of different colour ink replacements, so I just keep refilling that one till they run out. How many did I get? I can't remember. There was quite a few little ink cartridges that came with it, so it was quite a good little buy. But yeah, if you're not, I'll message you or look on like dressmaking things. My knee's not feeling too bad. I felt really achy, thanks Jack. This morning after I'd had that scan yesterday, my whole body was just aching, and I thought, oh, it's probably all that just because I laid so still. But my knee, touch wood, hasn't not been too bad. Right, I'm going to stick this together, so excuse me if I am like quiet for a minute because I don't want to get it wrong. So I'm lining it up on the part where I haven't got where I've left the tape. I need it to come that side, sorry. And then hopefully I'm going to get that lined up down there. So if I don't take it all off, I can try and get myself lined up before I actually take all the tape away. So I'm trying to make sure my little bits here are coming together. You know, I've got the score lines that need to meet for the bottom, and then it has to sit on that side. So I think I've probably got that near enough right. Let's hope for the best. There, so hopefully that's about right. So I've stuck them down. Yeah, I've got that. So I've got a front and a side, a front and a side. I've got to make sure I do that right. And then we're going to stick, I'm going to just double check that it's all going to work. I've got enough. I've got one there, yeah. And then when I come round this side, I've got one there. Yeah, that's all right. So I've done that. So we've stuck them down there. Yeah, Jackie, so thank you, my knee's not too bad today, is what I was going to say. Right, I'm going to stick this one on to this bit now. Sorry, it's a bit of a fiddle trying to work with this size. Let's stick where I'm using the tape because I thought I need it to make sure it sticks well. I'm sure Dawn's glue will also stick well because it does stick fast. I'm probably using an awful lot of tape. If you see other people, I watched Debbie on her lives, and she just does little dots of her tape because she's doing it quick in her lives to save on her glue. But if I'm going to use this bag, I don't want it to fall apart, so I am going to stick it properly. Just going to burnish that side again to make sure I've stuck down, and then I'll lift it off. But I'm not going to do the whole of it. Just get a little bit at the end. Yes, I think we were in the same place, Jackie, the other day when they were selling them, and I ordered one. It was on Facebook Live, and they were a really good price. So I don't know if that's where you saw those pens as well. That's where I got mine from. So we'll probably both watch the same program. But yeah, I'm not going to say it in Dawn's live, but it's some people that Dawn knows, I think, and she probably gets on all right with them. No, so it's fine. Right, there we go. So now I've got my two sides together. Now the side bits are going to go inny like that. So I'm going to fold that one out down. And then this side is also going to be an innie. So I'll just make sure that I've got my creases right. Like that. There we go. If there's anything sticking out, I don't know what that bit is that's sticking out, we'll ignore that. Right, now, what I decided as well was that I was worried about my seams because my paper isn't a super duper paper. And it was cracking a little bit on the seams, so I found some washi tape, which I thought, oh, that'll do. And I'm just going to reinforce my seam with that, and because it's pink, it should look all right still with the paper that I'm using. So if you've got any tape, washi tape, or any other tape that you think you could use, it probably would be good just to reinforce this bottom. This bottom one, because we're going to put a bottle in it, so I kind of feel like maybe it's a good idea to make sure that we're not going to have any of these things cracking. And if I put the washi tape on now before we decorate it, there'll only be a little bit sticking out as part of the decoration, and it'll look nice. There we go. So just hopefully I'm not far off meeting there, am I? Just slightly off. Let me go back round that side. There we go. So I've got a bit of washi tape down there. If there's anywhere else you think is looking a bit dodgy, you could always do that as well. But maybe you just want to look at what cardstock you're using, because I probably haven't picked the right one. Right, before we go now as well, you see what we've done? Can you see? And we've folded the sides in. That's our 3.5 inch side. That's our 4 1/4. 3.5. I think it's 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4. There. So before we do the next bit, we're going to decorate it before I actually put the bottom in. So I've got some of this paper. I'll put it back together so you can see it. This is one from Dawn's cocktail pink champagne one. Hang on a minute, I've got 2 of each. So it looks like that. So I get white borders on all of mine when I print them out on the printer. This is a digital mini kit, this one. So I've cut all the white off, and then I cut this piece. Let's have a look what we've done it to. That's 4 1/4, so I might give that a little mini trim. Oh, sorry guys. Give it a little mini trim, and then the other bit I just cut it in half, roughly. So I think if I'll get one bit up, and if I put that on there straight on, it's quite tight to it, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of a scooch on the trimmer. Got this one out this week because my paper trimmer's a bit temperamental at the minute. I hope you're getting a really good view of that handle. I'm just going to slice a little 1/8 of an inch off there, and then we'll stick one of these down. So I'm going to also just check where I'm coming down to the bottom. So that's just giving it a little bit of a white border. Now coming down to the bottom, I don't need it to be on the last panel. There's like 2 panels, one there and one there. I don't need it on that last one, so I only need it to cover this one. Now I know that because when I did the first my little prototype, I cut it down just to the size of that first part, so up to where my tape is here, I just cut it that size. I actually put my tape there. I need my tape there, don't I? Oh, good, well spotted. We'll do that again in a minute then. So I put it that size, but actually you need it that way. So you can see on this one I did it right. And then on that one I did all the side panels wrong as well. So this one I did it right. So we're going to do the right way. So I've actually taped the top one here, and it's the bottom one I needed taping because that's the bit that's going to fold up. So I'm going to go back round again. Sorry guys, we have to do another little round of taping because I've done the wrong one. So it's the bottom one that we need to reinforce because that's the one that's going to be folded for the base, and the alcohols is going to be inside. So that's the bit that I wanted to make sure I had enough reinforcement down. But it's all right. Let's just hope I've got enough of this tape. I think this is another little random one that came out of a Dawn Bibby bag of goodies that comes sometimes. I've got a lovely little delivery today, which has got my flowers in for my hanging basket that I want to make, hanging down. So let's just do that. Just pretend I did it right the first time. There we go. Anyway, that's okay. Not to worry. Right, so we're going to put this one on here. This collection also had another background which was all bottles, so I'll show you that one later when I finish this. So I want to just get it to cover probably about there. I'm just going to mark it with me pencil where I want it. So my fold line is, let me just see, that's my fold line there. So I'm going to pop it up there. Probably it'll be about there. So just put a little slither off that. Get the little mini one out this time. No, I don't need a big one. So just doing this by eye. I'm sure that'll be fine. And while I'm there, I'm going to get this one, do it the same. On the same size. Just need to get the slither off it. Oh, the Enchanted Dragons is in mine as well. I'm so pleased. It's so much better than my printer. So that's why I like to get the kits for as well, because my printer doesn't really seem to be quite so good as the ones you get when they come from Dawn. There we go. So let's get that one ready, and I'll probably find these are going to be the same. So I'll just measure it, and then I know what I'm cutting off. That is 10 1/8. So I'll go down there and do 10 1/8 as well. 10 1/8. That one looks wider. We'll see when we get there. There we go. And we've got this done. Yes, I'm really looking forward to getting that out. And where have I put them off? Oh, there it is. I put it in the flower. I forgot where I put it. I have put it in the flower so that I would see it, and then I forgot where it was. That's it. That one, and then this one is in the flower as well. Don't forget where you put it. Line it up that way. Oh my goodness. I'm all fingers and thumbs. It's just hot, isn't it? But happily, Albie is sitting nicely down here. He's hot and bothered, but he's lying down next to me. So then we're going to get some glue on here, which we can probably just use Dawn's glue, or if you want to stick it on with tape again, then you can. I'm just going to stick it on. Let's go. I don't know if I've missed anybody else joining, because there's a few more there, I think. So hello if I've missed you and didn't see you coming in. This first project is the gift bag, the bottle gift bag. It's too short for a big bottle, but what I thought, actually you could just about put a big bottle in it if you then puffed up the top with a bit of paper, you know, a bit of tissue paper. But if you were wanting it to be longer, then I would just stick more paper on to double it up that way, or you'd have to get maybe a different size paper. My goal for this was that it was going to be A4 paper that I was using. That's what I wanted to do, because I thought you'll all have that, won't you? And I'll just stick it down. There we go. I also have that tape on before I put all the bits in as well. There we go. And then I want to make sure my pattern matches. So there's that one. That's going to be there. So that again wants a little mini trim. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Shadow box. We'll just do a smidgen off there. I know it's gonna, I don't think we'll worry too much about whether it is. That one is actually a little bit, take a little bit off that one, that'll be fine. It's a little bit smaller already, the other one. So yeah, shadow box would be nice. I'm just doing that book, so whoop, watch out for your blade coming down to get you. Right. Yeah, I've got that book that I was doing, and I was thinking that could be dragons and fairies, the one that I started that we have to finish. And then the little one that I had to go with the material, the kind of colour for that looks as if it's like bee colour to me because of the colour of material I've used. So that might be a little bee one. Or, I don't know, I'll wait and see. So I'm going to hope that I've got this about right. Let's see if it's going to line up with that one. Yeah, that looks good. I'll do the same again. I'm trying not to be too slow, because it's just sticking and gluing this, isn't it? The hard bit was just making sure we had the measurements, and that was me doing the measurements before the live, so it should work out all right. That's it. There we go. So we're going to do the same on this side again. I just want to slither off there. I think, Julie, nobody's commenting. That's probably why. Hopefully people are watching and enjoying, or it might be, you know, it's a hot day, so maybe people are in the garden. I can see your comment and Julie Rankin's comment. And there were other comments before, but it's fine. You don't have to comment all the time. And it's just a small number tonight. Hopefully people will watch back. I always think on a hot day like this, we're not going to have everybody joining in, because they're probably going to be out in the garden or still down the beach if they live near the beach. I'm just going to get this off as well. That's it. Get rid of that. And then we'll get this one on. And then we're going to do a little bit of folding and sticking again. Hopefully I'll remember how I put it all together. But the way I did it was just deconstructing something I already had and then scaled it down with, I just practiced with photocopy paper, just cheap paper, scrap, and then just worked out where things had to be for it to work. I think you can get sort of gift bag templates and such like, can't you? So some of you might have those already. Or get them online. But if you haven't got any, like I didn't have one, you just see if you can fathom it out. Hello, Delightful Handmade Cards. Who is that? I don't recognise that name. Is that somebody who we usually have, but they're just on their different page? But hello and welcome. I didn't say hello to you. Oh, that's fine. Thank you, Jackie. It is quite relaxing just watching somebody doing crafting, isn't it? And hoping that they don't make too much of a mess. But if they do, it's nice to see how to rectify things as well, isn't it? I'm hoping I'm lining that up quite well. What have I done there? I forgot to cut that bottom bit off. I did. Just a second. So I haven't done that bottom bit right, have I? Wait a minute, guys. Let's get this chopped. I'll just do it with me by hand. Well, that one's not going to be quite where we want it. I forgot to do that bit, didn't I? Let's just see where you're going to be. Get my pen again, my pencil. I'll just go across with my scissors and hope that I'm not too wonky. That's it. Oh, here's Karen. Thanks, Karen. Nice to see you join us. Yeah, oh, I've been talking and that's gone and just decided to block itself a little wee bit. See if I can get it out. Brute force, there we go. I've run out of my big glue of Dawn's. I need to get some more. So hence I'm using a lot of this one because it's not as good as Dawn's. Because Dawn's you don't need a lot, as we know. I'm just going for it. It's a good little device for having your glue in. If you remember to put your lid on, because it's got that pokey thing. There, so it hopefully doesn't get thingied, clogged. Honestly, what we're like. Right, make sure you get it the right way round, and then we'll line it up again up here. Hopefully we'll do it right. There we go. So that's all the paper on now, and I can fold it up. Ta-da! There we are. So that's the main part of the bag, and then we need to make the base. So what we're going to do first is we need a piece of card. So I did get some proper card for this, and if we remember, our base was 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to cut 4 1/4 by 3 1/2 on this bit of card. I'm going to get my big one in again because the little one I've got's only got centimeters. Is yeah, we're saying hello to Delightful Handmade Cards. Are you new to the group is what we're wondering, or are you just on your business page? So we're very nosy, we'd like to know. So I'm going to make it 3 1/2. There we go. And 4 1/4, because this is going to give us a sturdy thing inside for the present to sit on. Let me just see if that's going to be wide enough, or am I going to get another bit? It's not quite 3 1/2, so let me just get another bit. Keep that for another purpose. There we go. A little bit off this. That bit's not wide enough, I don't think either, is it? Let's have a look. No, that's not quite 3 1/2 either. So I must have been fiddling around. Goodness knows what I've been doing. Right, let's just go for 3 1/2. And then 4 1/4 that way. There we go. So there's our 2 base cards. Oh, I've done it wrong again. Honestly. 4 1/4, 3 1/2, 4 1/2, 3 1/2. Eee. Nobody would pay me to do this because I'm not good enough. I always make mistakes. Good job, it's a free job. A volunteer position. Right, hopefully I've got that right now. I've ended up with 3, so hopefully we should have enough there between us. No problem. Oh, Michelle, we do know you as Michelle Boyd. Ah, I didn't know. Welcome, Michelle. Nice to see you on here. That's great. Thank you for joining us. We're just making a gift bag at the minute. So I've got my bits of card that I'm going to put inside, and I've got to remember how to do my folding now. So if you remember, we had our little lines. Just see them. I'll just go over them with this little pen that blots out again so you can see them. These are the ones that we need, both sides there. So that's what I'm going to be looking for when I do my fold. So this is the bit I want to fold down, that bit and that bit. Okay. And then I want to do the same on that side. I want to fold it in and fold it in. Yeah. And then the bit here, if I come to the top, so hopefully you can see, that's going to be flat. Like that. And then you can see if I fold that over and that over, I'm not too close to the camera, then I have got a bit of a hole. Hence why I needed my bits of extra card. So that was the way we're going to fold it. We're on the wider side, and we're going to get that little flap there and that little flap there, and then these 2 bits are going to be square. Can you see that all right? Lovely. So what I'm going to do first is go in the inside. Let me just see. I'm going to actually just make sure that my my lines are lining up, that I've got my crease right. That's slightly off. So what I'm trying to make sure there is that that lines up along there to fold in neatly. Yeah, so I'm just going to go back again and just check that that is correct, because I'm slightly off on that, but it's okay. If I show you again where I'm trying to line up, hopefully it'll make sense. There, so we're trying to line those bits up. Can you see that all right? And then we're going to go that one there and that one there. Lovely. So we've done that. I can get rid of my blue lines again with a bit of heat. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Lovely. That's that one done. And then I'm going to get my inside. I'm going to make sure that it fits. So I'm going to stick one of my squares in there. Check that it is going to fit in. And it does. And then when we've done that one, we're going to put this one on the outside. Right, there we go. Oh, Michelle, I'm going to have to be nosy and go to your Delightful Handmade card page now as well and see. Oh, €55 from cards this week. That's brilliant. I've never ever actually sold any of my craft, so never. Never. Right, let's go and get a load of glue on this again. And this is going to go on the inside. And get this one stuck in. Oh, I'll put my light on in a minute as well, because it's just starting to get a little bit darker. It looks like you can see all right. I'm just aware of the fact that what I can see is just starting to be a bit darker. Poke that back in just while I'm sticking it down. There we go. So I'm going to get this one inside. If I have to go a bit wonky from the camera, then please excuse me, because I just want to get it in and get it right. And poke it down into the bottom. Get it burnished in with my hands as well. That's it. Oh, that's nice. There we go. So I managed to get that in. That looks all right. And then we've got a little bit of a tatty bottom where that is in the middle. So I'm just going to stick another one over the bottom like that. And then if you want to go around with any more washi tape to finish your edges off, you could. But we're just going to do that one. And then that's the actual box made. And if you haven't seen this paper, this is from Dawn's Pink Champagne, is it Pink Champagne or Pink Cocktail? It's a mini digital kit on our website. And we're going to use the Cocktail Couture as well for the tag, which we're going to do next. So I'm going to stick that one on there. Put it on top of that, put my arm in. Hang on a minute, it's difficult when you're doing it on the side or not on the top. I'm normally coming down at things from the top, not from the side. So you want to really get in there. Let me get up. I'm going to go off screen a minute just so I can get my hand right in there. I need a harder surface though, to be fair. I haven't got enough room with my table. Anyway, I can do that later. I'm sure it'll still work. Just don't want me my butt to fall out. There we go. So now we've got our bag ready. I might go and get you a big bottle just to show you the difference. Right, we need a little bit of a tie for the top, don't we, here? So I couldn't find my single punch thing. All I could find was a little old hole puncher. So it put the holes a bit too high up for me, so I am going to try and just do it. I'll just have a little look and see where I want the holes, so my ribbon will sit nicely. Let me get my blue pen again, because it works nice, doesn't it? I maybe want them about there, so if I get that little quarter there, that little quarter there, maybe at the one, in it about there, and in about there. Right, I'm going to try and do it with this punch anyway. It'd be easier if I had my little handheld one. You know, the little ones you just do that with. Can't think what you call them. I'll just put a couple of marks. Let me see if I can work it out. It's not even got a clear bottom. Let's have a go. I'm going to come off the screen again in a minute, just because this bit is going to be a fiddle for me to try and get me hole in the right place. Let me just see where it is. See if I can get it in there. No, it doesn't actually go that far because it's just a little diddly one. I'm just going to have to go in. If you've got your one that's a single handheld one, you can actually get your holes where you want it, because I think I want my holes a bit further down. So I wouldn't recommend using one of these, because I've got no control then over where I'm putting it, and I can't get it in as deep as I want it to be. So you need to find your little single hole ones where you can just do one hole at a time. You see, I've got no control over that. They're right wide there. Rubbish. So that aside, I can still make it work. Let me just get rid of my blue dots I put in. That's fine. So I would put them down here somewhere where it looks a bit better. And then we'll want a bit of ribbon. And I'm just going to poke it through both holes that side, both holes that side. And leave a bit at the front. Bring a bit this way, poke it back through. I couldn't for the life of me find my little thing to make holes, but it's fine. You can get some circle reinforcers as well if you want to. That might be a good idea. There we go. So we'll get the ribbon in. Let's try to get, this is just a bit of Dawn's Gold ribbon. And then we can see if we just want to open it up, we can do like that. And we can get our bottle of Prosecco in like that. And we've got loads of room for our little extra presents that we might want to pop in there. What else have I got I can put in? I'll put one of these in. Dawn's lovely butterfly. Let's pop one of those in. And I've probably still got room for a little candle in there as well. But there you go. So that's that. And then we will just tie this up into a bow. I've got a crocodile, everybody. Yes, I have. That's what I've got. But could I find it? No. I'll find them handy. Now you could also, if you wanted to, fold it down and have it a bit further, but as you see, it's not where I want it. It's a bit high. However, it works. And we can just tie a little bow because I want to be able to get in and out of it. There we go. And then we would do our little bit of titivating. So I've now got my gift box with my drink inside, and I need to turn it round. Got room for chocolates in there still. I've got room for a bath bomb, so I've got loads of room in here. There you go. You can get just the one that's just a normal holy punch thing, which is a handle like that. That's all it does. Just go do, and it's just got a little, just puts a hole in. So they're just normal and straightforward. They're quite easy. So that's that one. So now we need a little tag for it, don't we? So this one, I started to decorate that up and I used some lace doily and put a little thing in. But I've actually started making a little tag for this one, so I'm going to do that with you. Let me put the light on and we'll go to do the tag, and then we're going to move on to toadstool. There you go, put a little bit of light on the scene. Right, so what I've got for making my tag, let me get my little pile of goodies for this. So I've got a couple of things from Debbie Moore, which this is Dawn's lovely glitter play card, absolutely gorgeous. This is another one of Dawn's I've got, which is like it's a goldy rose but peachy, like a peachy gold. So that's another one that goes with it. I was thinking about that, but then I actually just thought I love the gold. So I've got a piece of that ready. And I have then used this spring, Hello Spring pack. I like the colour of the pink in there. And I thought, oh, that's nice. I'm going to use some of that for my tag. So I have cut a piece of that off for a tag. That's there. So I've got that ready. And then I have got, we'll show you the die cut bits afterwards, and that's some bling. But we're going to do this. There we go. So I'm going to put that on first. So I started off with my piece of card, which I have just guessed the size of. Don't need to really measure, just what you think might look nice. That is it's turned out to be 4 3/4 by about 2 1/4-ish. So I've just cut 2 of those for you. And then I have got my corner puncher here to make the corners look nice. There we go. And then I've got my a nice stencil. So this is the one that was from Debbie Moore. And then I chose my colours because I like it's all pinks and orange and yellow. So I've gone with my Studio Light. I've got one from the soft, which is a yellow one, and one from the pinks, which is quite a bright pink. So they're the 2 colours I'm going to use. I'm going to use brushes because that's what I prefer to use. So these are just cheap brushes that I've got. I keep this for like pinks and reds. I'm going to get a bit of that, and I'm just going to go over there. Kind of already done this before, so I can see where I was. I've just done it on an angle like that. I've got my yellow, put that in there, and it's going over the watch you don't move it like I've just done. It's going over the pale pink, so I think it's quite a nice colour as well that you're getting. I'm moving slightly, but I don't mind. I'm trying to then blend a little bit into the 2 colours, so I'm getting a bit of an orange as well as a yellow and a pink. And that should be quite nice. There we go. So that's what we've done. And that's another nice sort of fan. I'm quite liking these sort of fan ones. I'm just going to go around the edge a little bit as well with the red, the pink, just to take the whiteness off the edges. But that's nice and quick and easy for a background for your tag. So rather than it being stark white in the back where the stencil was, it's that pale pink, so I think it looks nice rather than that white. So that's why I've gone for that pink. And there you go. Dawn still has some of these Studio Light ones. I think she had the soft ones and pink ones out the other day, and I really like them. They're the ones I use all the time at the minute. That's what I'm using. Cut a little hole in there, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just check the size of this where I want it, and we'll trim that down. It's looking a bit wonky, this one. So let's just straighten that up a wee bit. And then see if it's the right size for my tag. I'm thinking of keeping the tag Yeah, that's fine. I just want a hint of an edge, because I'm going to actually think I might keep my edge, my tag separate, the two bits separate. Right, go in there. Hope that didn't move too much. And then we'll go on the corner again with this. And this is Dawn's nice glitter card. Doesn't really get any shedding on it. Don't know about anybody else, but any shedding. Nothing happening. There we go. That's it, nice corners. And then we're going to use those two together there. But then I thought to myself, this is going on top of here. But I thought, oh, there you go. You see how the colours just sort of fall into each other? Because I've got those pinks and orange behind, and then the pink Prosecco at the front. I decided it needed something else. So that went and had a look, because I've got this other little nice die that I got off Debbie. I don't think Dawn will mind me showing you these ones, because they do like look after each other. This one came as like a lattice, and it came with some gems as well, so you can use it. So I've cut that out. Cut it out in a few different things just so you could see. That's in Dawn's holographic. Lovely. I love that. Love that. Put that one there. And then I cut it out in that sort of peachy gold card. I put one of the gems on there, you can see. Just so you could see what that looked like. And then I cut it out of the gold again. Put a little gem on. So this is what I thought I'm going to use over the top, like that, and then like that, and then I think that just helps break it all up. That's what the idea is there. So this one I need to get this stuck on. So let me, I think the easiest way will be to put dots of glue everywhere and then stick it over the top and cut the edges off. So I'm going to go for this. It's a really nice lattice that I just stumbled upon. I don't know whether Dawn can get this in. If Debbie's got a few, it might be one that she can stock, because I think it will go with quite a few bits as a nice background die on cards. You can have flowers growing up into it, and do it in all different colours. It'll go with all the collections she's got. It's just a nice background. So I'm kind of guessing on there. Let's stick it over the top. Where do we want it? I'll just go there like that. That's fine. Stick it on. Yeah, it is a lovely little die, isn't it? So I might give Dawn a shout and say, oh, Dawn, can you get this one in? Because it's lovely. And I like the extra space, the extra bit that we've got there as well. So I'm going to cut this off now. It was quite easy to cut as well. It wasn't a bother. There we go. Just see if I've got enough glue. If I miss any bits, I'll stick them on. Probably haven't given it enough time to stick properly in some parts, but there you go. So I just think that looks nice with the, you can see the pattern behind from the stencil, and you've got that lovely bling lattice over the top. I'll go back through and just trim the put a bit more glue on anywhere that I've missed. That's kind of around the corner there, isn't it? And that's around the corner. Let me go that side so I can see. That's it. A little bit on this corner I've missed. That's it. So that should work. There we go. And stick all that down. I'm just going to go around with my glue and check anything that I've missed, because I wasn't really sure where I was going. That one hasn't got any glue on. A little corner. And I think I did pretty well with the rest. I think there's a little bit down there. I don't think I got that bit. There we go. You can hear Albie behind me. He's rolling around. You know how they scrummage on their back and scratch their back and scratch their head and roll about. He's loving it on my carpet behind me on the rug. If you can hear him. There we go. Now we're going to be putting these together on here, but I think I might leave them as like separate. I don't think I'm going to stick them. I might leave them as dangly ones that are just separate for the minute. I think that's okay. So I'm going to put my hole in. Ready? And I'll just use this again. Sorry about that. My little thing. I hope that I can. Oops, I'm dropping them. Hang on a second. Hang fire. There we go. So I think it's around about there. Probably not going to get this very in the middle with it being me. Ooh, done pretty well. That's good. There we go. And then I probably need another little bit of ribbon. Oh, sorry guys. I've got some more of Dawn's gold ribbon there. So I could have a bit of that. There. Sorry, I'm just going to fold it over and make sure I go the right way. There, like that. And then maybe we'll just poke it through for two. And stick it through there. Like that, and that makes a nice tag. It's quite thick, that ribbon. Probably could have done with a slightly thinner one because it's quite glitzy and glamoury. It's not pulling through the hole very well. That's it. I've got a little bit of glue, a little bit coming up there. That's it. There we go. Stick you down. That's it. Yeah, you can hear him. So I'll leave him like that. Oh, there's a pigeon. I just thought I quite like, because I've used that gold. It's almost like a waste if we don't have it. Albie, thank you. We don't want to hear you. Come on. The girls don't want to hear you. In. No, not outside because you'll just go barking at them. Inside. In. Go and see Wesley. Go and see Wesley. That's them pigeons coming to bother Albie again. Jumping around on the top. Right, lovely. So we've done a lovely, I love that. You don't even need to do much else with that. That could just be it. But we're going to put the Prosecco, I think, on top, which I'll do onto tags. And I'll just go around that edge with my red to take any white bits off. That. Just like kissing the edge. A little bit on there. Get the white off it. That's it. And then we're going to stick that one on there. Let's get some foam pads on. I've banished him now, and he'll go and pester Wesley, and then Wesley will come not knowing what to do with him because he'll start being a menace. But anyway, it's fine. I think the birds do it on purpose because they know he's in there and they come and look at him and bark and wait for him to bark. I'm putting plenty of these on because I've got glitter and glitz. That's it. And throw all these off. Come off nice and easy. I might just put a bit of extra glue on as well, just because I've got that glitter card to make sure everything sticks on. And I've got a bit of wiggle room as well then when I'm applying it. There we go. I'll stick it on. I'll just lift it up so I can see it and decide which angle you're going to put it at. I might go that way actually. And pop it down there. There we go. So we've got that on there, and you could leave it at that if you want to. If you wanted to put any flowers round, I've got a lovely bag of pink flowers I've done. It's just arrived today. I've got these lovely rusco sleeves. They are nice, and I got a bag of pink, which I thought, oh, they're lovely. So they've got a nice big one in, which I fluffed up with the heat, and then I've stuck a gem inside. And then these ones were in there, and I decided to just put a bit of glitter in the centres. They're like goldy ones, and they're more like a whitey one. And then this one I put some pink and glitter in. So I just like to titivate the centres up sometimes. I think that just works nicely. And then I also found these, and I have this. This was in my garage. Look at the size of this. It was in my garage, and goodness knows how long I've had these. Dawn Bibby Creations. I think I've had them years, but I found them in the garage, and I thought, oh, we might use some of those. So I'm going to get a few off this strip. Go for these lovely pinky shiny ones. They're really nice. They're all stuck together on glue. So I'm going to just take them off individually to get the glue away. And I thought, where's my pokey? Oh, now I could use this other. See, another thing that emerged from the garage. Dawn Bibby again. Look at this ancient thing. I don't know. Another pokey tool. This is good for my books. It's really pokey, isn't it? Blooming lethal, this one. Anyway, I thought they would look nice on the crissy crossy bits, which I think is obviously what the die is meant to have on it. You know, them, because it comes with the gems. I think we're supposed to put some little bits of glitz in amongst those corners. So I think we could probably put a few of them on as well in the crisscross areas. And you can just put as many of or as little as those on as you want. I'll put another one in that top. I think I'll put another one up there. Ow, ow, ow. This is a pokey tool. I think this is too dangerous for me to be left with. I don't trust myself. I am not responsible enough to be left in charge of a pokey tool of this spikiness. However, it will be very good when I come to want to poke holes in my book thingies. Anyway, we can just go on and on here. I could just put them all on, but I'll just do a couple and that'll do. And then we've made a nice tag as well. Poke it under that one. Up on the things. There we go. So we can put them on. All of the little crisscrosses are just on a few, but I think that looks nice as well. Lovely, lovely. And if we wanted to put any more embellishments on, we could, as I was saying, got these lovely flowers and I've got these lovely leaves. I think we could do a little bit with those. Do we want any little gold flowers in the bottom corner? Let's have a look. No, don't want it to fall apart, so I'm trying to go close up to it, but not so it's going to fall apart. but I do want something to be able to poke in, and I don't want to spoil my little tag by putting too many embellishments on. I think we could probably do a couple of these. I'm going to stick them on like that for the minute and just show you, and then I think probably we are now nearly 9 o'clock, so I think we're on to the time for the next project. These little thicker sleeves are good, the rusker sleeves, sorry. So you get loads on one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but each leaf we can also then 5, 6, and then a little bit at the top as well. We could use individual leaves. Now I'm going to just look at my camera, because I like to look at my camera while I'm doing things, and I just want to see what it looks like at the minute before I'm going to stick anything down. There we go. Right, there you are. So if I want to add some flowers, I can add some flowers. What do we think? Would we like flowers on? I think it looks pretty, so I might do that. This big one I think is gorgeous, so I don't know if I wanted to put that anywhere. Where's my bag that I made? I've lost my bag. Oh, I put it on the floor because it had alcohol in, didn't it? So with the other one I made a rosette, so I think I will fiddle around and probably do what I normally do. I like to faff afterwards. I'm going to stick them on anyway, because I've got another tag there. If I don't like it, I'll just do another one. That's the thing. I can't see very well when I'm you know, when I'm down, when I'm at this angle. I say that every time, so I know you all know. Right, what I'm going to do is get the gel out because I want to poke things in. Heavy body gel, where are you? It's heavy body gel. We are here, and then we're going to do a little toadstool. Right, poke a bit of that in there. Poke a bit of that in there. I think we were there-ish, weren't we? That's not where I want it. Yeah, I'm going to need a little dibber. And we're going to need to leave this to dry because I do think it's going to need a bit of time to sit. So I'm going to put that one there. Put that there. And then we need to cover them up with flowers. There. I'm going to have to put this to the side because the heavy body gel needs time to just set a little bit. Might as well put the flowers on because that's what I got them out for. And I'll give them time to just set, and I'll need another little bit in there because that leaf, oh, that leaf can push down. Right, let me just have a little look because I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, that's all right. Tomorrow's live is going to be a corker, a mega sale. Oh, wow. Oh, you find out all the business, don't you, now? You're doing these newsletters. Exciting. I hope it all plays ball. There we go. So then I can just try to sort of stick my tag on my bag somehow. Shoved up there for now in my little bow area. Not being very careful, and I'm not being very good. Let's just stick that there. Ta-ta! There you go. So we've made a lovely bag. We've made a fabulous tag to go on it. I cut loads of bits out, so I've got another tag there. I'm going to do the toadstools next, but when I'm sitting later I might finish this tag off because I've got some lovely edges there. That'll make a lovely bit more thing. And that flower, find somewhere to, so I like this big one, so I feel like it might want some little home in amongst the ribbon up there, but I'll have a little fiddle later. There you go, beautiful. Ta-da! There you go, everybody. So we've made a tag. Let me tidy all this up a little minute so we can have a look properly. I'll just put the flowers in with my leaves for now, so I don't lose them. They'll go in the little plastic bag. And the ribbon can go in the plastic bag. And my spare bits here are going to go in the plastic bag, and then later on I should have another little go at playing with it. But there you go. So we've made a lovely tag. I think that should be fine. The heavy body gel might hold on. And we've got a lovely gift bag, and I've got a nice bottle of fizz inside and one of Dawn's brooches, and that's a lovely present for somebody. But because the weather's so nice at the minute, you might find that that little bottle of fizz may wend its way into my fridge, and then it may be drank by myself. I don't drink very often, but if I do, I think something like a little mini bottle of Prosecco will go down very nicely. So there's your first project today. Hope that's gone all right for you, and I love the tag. I love it. And I'm really pleased that the bag has worked well. So that was just deconstructed from another bag, and then I've redone it for the size of A4. So I will write down again, if you need me to, the measurements and make a little picture of it. But I think that's a fabulous little gift that we've made. So I'm going to put that under there. I might have to drink the champagne because I can't post that, but maybe I could post the bag to Dawn with a little packet of chocolates in or something, because she likes her chocolates, and then she can have that. She can put that on her lives as well. Right, lovely. So I've enjoyed making that one, and then we're going to move on. This is our next project. So give me a couple of minutes while I swap my bits and pieces around. I'm going to go, I don't want any of these bits, so I need to move them out the way. That's that. And then we need a card base, and we need some toadstools. Let's see, I've got these little fellas all cut out nice and rating ready for us, and hopefully I can remember what I did and what we're doing. This is a really nice little kit to work with. I haven't done anything fancy really. It's very straightforward. It's just cutting out the toadstool and putting on all the little embellishments. So the bit that's going to take you the longest is probably getting all your little bits cut out. So I've spent some time, put them all back in again. I've cut them all out. They're just on photocopy paper, so they're not from my printer. So they're not on Dawn's card. So if you get the kit, then obviously the card, you don't need to be faffing about doing what I've had to do. I've had to back it onto card and cut it out. So when you get if you get the kit from Dawn, this card she uses for these bits will be fine for you just to cut out and use, but mine was just photocopy paper. So I've cut out a load of little topper tags. I've cut loads of flowers out, little hearts. I've cut a couple of little fellas out. Now these came from these two little ones. Let me get the little bit, because I've just got them printed out. There, this size. So it was one of these ones. It's one of the 4, and I've just demolished one of them actually. I think it's underneath here. No, that's a different one. So I cut the little fellas out from here, and then I actually also cut out some of the flowers from here because I didn't want to then not use them. So on this card, he came from one of those, and all the little bits have actually come as well. A lot of the little bits anyway have come from that same little design, so I could reuse them. And what I've done there is use some of the lace. So I thought we'll do this because it's such a nice little thing to play with, and hopefully you'll be able to see how easy it is to get a good effect. So hopefully I've got plenty cut out. These two are the bigger ones, which I haven't backed, so they're just on my thin paper. But we'll see. I think probably going to need the little ones. So I'll put them all back in there ready. So that's what we need. So take a bit of time to get your little fellas and your little bits cut out. You're not doing it for a workshop, so you don't have to try and do it quickly and then get annoyed and hot and bothered. Just do it a little bit each night till you get, or just do enough for one card. I've done loads so that I could just get on and do what I needed to do. Then I've got myself a one of the 6x6 paper card blanks. The card blank's not actually quite 6x6. As you know, it's the envelopes, isn't it? So I've got one of those, and I then cut out, a minute, they're all in the bag here. I'll show you what I've got. So this was one of the pages, that's the one I've used. This was another page, and I've just cut the bits out. I'll show you this one as well. So you're going to get this big page, the one with the skinny legs, the skinny bit, and then the one with all the flowers on as well. So you get another one with those flowers. So you've got a choice of what you want to do. Now these ones are the mirror image ones. Actually proper mirror images, so you can back those to each other, and especially with it being a bit of a fussy area here, that makes it a lot easier for you. So that one's easy to do there. These ones are not quite mirror images, but they're actually, because of the way they are, they work as if they are, so they're fine. So if you want to do the skinny one, what I did with that was I cut them both out and I've stuck them onto the card, and then I've cut round. But because it was a skinny one, I've gone round it with like a little bit of a stand at the bottom. We're not going to see that because we're going to then embellish it. So for that skinny one, I thought, oh, I'll be safer if I just put a little bit of a base on it, so I know it's going to stand up well. I didn't need to do that with the bigger bottom. That was fine. And I've just backed this one. I've done it on a craft card one, but we're just going to use the white card at the minute to put you there out the way. So if you want to do the thin one, there's that. We can stand that there as well. We've got loads of them hanging about now. And I've got this bigger bottom one ready to do. I've left this because I wasn't sure where I wanted the end to be, so I'm just going to pick one. When I cut it out as well, just to show you, if you look closely, there's quite a bit of little bits of edges here. You can see where the little white stars are and little bits knobbling out. I didn't bother with that. I just cut straight round. So don't need to make it hard for yourself. And as you can see, I also just cut down to make the bottom, because I'm going to be embellishing down here. I don't need those little bits. So I just cut it straight down. And to make it easy for myself, I've actually got the card blank ready. So then I'm going to just stick one on here, wherever we want it. And then I can cut the bottom off. And then I can stick the other one on the other side. I think when I did this one, I also had left a flap at the top, because it was when I was practicing with it and I wasn't sure if I needed a flap at the top or not, but I don't think I'm going to need it because I can just cut round. So let's stick this on and I'll show you what I mean. And it's a gorgeous set. You're going to really enjoy it. It's worth the time just to cut. I haven't been so many embellishments. I haven't cut all the embellishments out. I just picked a few. There's a whole page full of lovely flowers and little backing papers and all sorts. So I think Dawn's going to give you a little bit of a look at that maybe tomorrow as well. But I can show you, I've just got some printed out ones. I haven't got the full kit in person yet. And then we're going to stick it on. Make sure you're sticking it where you want your fold to be. So I'm going to stick it like that. And there's Bob's your uncle. That's it. Nice and easy. And then we're going to put the lid back on that glue for now. So it doesn't go out. And then I'm going to chop the bottom off there from the other side. Because I'm going down using the card, I know that's then going to stand when I come to do it. Now I'm not going to stick this one on yet because I want to cut the card out ready. So this one is the toadstool time. I'll show you a few bits that we get. So you get 3 different cutouts for your cards that I showed you. That one's cut out, or I've already cut that out in case I was using it. You've got some lovely scenes. They're just a nice little size, and then you've got them in a bigger size as well. I've been cutting these out, so they're both the same, but there was 2 different ones on that page. That's where I was chopping earlier on. We have another little set of gnomes, so you see I've been chopping them up. What else do we get with it? I'll give you a quick look in case you've not seen it before. This is where I've cut loads of embellishments out from, an embellishment page. So that's missing. There's another page. This is the one that's just full of all the flowers and blackberries. So I've been cutting them out. There's a page full of sentiments. Toppers. There you go. And I'm back round to my cutouts, I think. Oh, hang on a second. I've got some more. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Those are the ones, the two ones. So you've got 2 really, so they make nice big cards. Then I've got some backing papers, so I've got toadstools and flowers. These are just printed out on my printer and they've come out lovely. I think this was 160 GSM paper I've used on this today, or 120, I can't remember. Some of them were on 120 and that's the ones I did onto the backing card. Another nice background that you can chop that up into bits to make a card with and make a scene, or put it on a tag and make a scene. That's to make your little books. Don't like the long ones, so you could make little books with them. And then a load of borders and more toadstools. So I think that's probably everything that you get. Hopefully that's helped a little bit. Just give you a little taste. So toadstool time, I do believe, is the name. So you can go on the website and order the digital. So anything that Dawn does that's digital, you just go on, look for the digital collections, and you can get any of them, and then you'll get those straight away. If you want any paper collections, new ones like this, you can order from Dawn, private message, or come on the live tomorrow night. Probably be able to get them then. Some of the older paper collections that she's been doing, she's running out of. So it's just a case of messaging her and seeing what she's got. So I'm going to cut this out. I want to make sure that I don't like leave too little a place there. So I'm going to go a little bit along, because I'll just probably, you know, can stick something over that. Because I'm wanting to be able to fold it over. I'll show you what I mean on there. So I have to leave enough of something for it to be able to fold and not just break. So I've left about 1 inch there, and I did the same on that side. That one, left myself 1 inch. So, and then you're just cutting through the 2 pieces of the card around your toadstool. So it's, Dawn's scissors are lovely for this. Oh, not that, I mean, they're bought from Dawn's shop. These are the blue ones, but the same as her pink ones, I think. And then I've just got a little frill there, but it wasn't too hard to do. And then again, I'm going to come down, because that's going to be my nice base. And then we'll go up and make sure I'm still there. Yep. We'll go up this side. And that's it, really. There you go. And then the fun bit can start. It's not too hard to do. That's it. Going round. Sorry, I keep coming off the... Sometimes when I'm cutting, I come off the camera a bit, don't I? Because I'm just trying to see what I'm doing. And again there, I'll just maybe go up like that. And then I've got that. So there's my card, ready to decorate. And you can leave it like that if you want to, or you can put your other bit on this side. It's not exactly a mirror image, but when I used it earlier on, it stuck on no problem. There was just a tiny little bit that I then trimmed off. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to stick all my glue on. Put it on this bit this time. There we go. Should be all right. I've got plenty. And I'm going to stick this on, and I'm matching up the top bit the best I can. This is the bit I was wanting to match the best. Sorry, I'm at the angle again, aren't I? There. That's it. And that just about covers the entire thing again. So let's go down here and cut that back bit off. And then all I did, where there was a little extra bit, let me put my lid on there again a minute. That's it, because this is the back, it's not so bad. There's a little bit of white showing there, so I'm just going to trim that bit out. There's a little bit of white there, so I'm going to trim that out. And a little bit there, so I'm just going to trim that out. And I think that's it, nothing else showing on that side. That's it. So then we can stand it up, give that a score. Sorry, just burnish that down. I can't even tell which was the front and which was the back now. So there you go. So I burnished it a little bit just so it'll stand up. So it's nice and flat on the bottom. And with this one, I just made a little extra stand because I thought that would make it easier to stand that one up as well. And there you go. Now, all you do now is decorate it however you would like. So I'll put this one here. Let's get all these little fellas out. That's it. So I thought that the big fella, he would be quite nice, but then I liked these little fellas as well. Quite like that. And I quite like that flowery one there. So it's really up to you which ones you decide to use. Hi Tracy. I don't know if I've said hello to Hayley yet, but hello Hayley as well, and Carol. Anybody else I've missed? Gilmore's here. Hi Gilmore. I'm sorry if I'm missing saying hello to you. I've been a busy bee doing all the doing. There's Dawn as well. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And Dee, and Michelle, and Jackie, and Karen, and Julie there. So we're just going to do some decorating now, and it's just a case of picking whoever you fancy. So I like the little hearts as well. I thought they were quite cute. We might put that little one on this time because it's a little bit brown, and we might go for with love at the top. Yep. So it's a case of just sticking them on and doing what you want with them, and either sticking them on straight or sticking them on to a foam pad. So let's go. That's it. And you really enjoy using these, they're so nice. I'm going to put that one down there. This is usually the bits that you do at the end, isn't it? Doing the top bit. But it's fine. I'll put that on there, and it can kind of, yeah, that's it, to kind of cover that little bit up. Put that one on there. Might as well put them on while I've got them there. a little heart, and then I'm going to choose a fella. Wait a minute, can I get my flowers out as well? So I'm going to think about what I want for my flowers. Open it up that way. There we go. And can you see all right? Let me move the Prosecco ones out the way and all of the beads from the peacocks. There we go. That's it. So we'll just have a little look and see who I fancy. Some nice flowers. Let's go for do I want to be him or do I want the big one today? I don't know. Right guys, I actually did the little one on the first bit and he was sort of sitting there. Thought that one, the big one, might actually put the big one on. That looks good. So he's going to go on that one. I like that. So leave him there. He does look like a him. Might not be a her, but he looks a bit like a him. And then I'm going to pick one of these little ones. Oh, it does really know which one. I'm going to maybe go for the little purple one. Oh, just pick one. Stop faffing. Stop faffing. It's okay. We don't need to go so crazy thinking about what we're doing, do we? Right, what I'm going to do now I've picked that is I'm going to think about my flowers and where they're going to go. So I would like a little bit of flower popping out from behind him or her. There we go. And would we like a little bit round that side as well. Now when you're putting them on, just remember it's got to stand up, so try not to put too much. I've done a little bit over the edge here and it still stood fine, but just be careful. I'm going over these side bits more and less along the bottom just so it stands, but I got away with that a little bit and it still stood fine. But that's just something to be thinking of when you're putting all your embellishments on. But I like to play around first, putting the things on, working out where they're going to go before I come to actually stick. Let's have a little bit look. Quite like a little bit of a like that, maybe a bit of that and a bit of that, and then we could have some sticky uppy ones from behind. So I think that's the first bit I'm going to do. I'm going to stick this one on. I'm just going to stick it on flat and it's on that edge. There we go. I'm quite happy to leave some bits coming up. And the little fella's going to be sat there like that. And we're going to stick another little bit there. But I need a bit of something else. I'm going to poke things behind, so hope I'm not sticking it right to the very edges here. I should be able to stick things behind. Just check it's standing up. Yeah, that's standing. Nice. And I want this one in here. So I quite like that little bit of. Now you can use your foam pads, or you can stick the glue on, or you can use your heavy bodied gel. When I did these, the other thing I did, so I had to stick them onto card to make them a bit more sturdy, and then I did the little bit where you kiss around the edge again with your ink, just to take off, you know, so it wasn't. You can see on that heart, you can see some pink, just so there wasn't too much of a harsh white edge, but it still looks fine. The little bits of white sticking out, I'm quite happy with it. So I'm going to stick that one there. That fella's going to go on here, and I might put him on a foam pad so that I can poke things behind. So I'm not going to put the foam pad all the way. I'm just going to put some foam pad along the middle, so I've got room either side if I want to poke anything behind. If that makes sense. There we go. It's such a lovely collection, honestly. I love them, and I really enjoy just cutting them out and sitting looking and working out where they were going to go and what they're going to do. So I'm going to just stand him like that, so he's a little bit in front of the flowers. There you go. And then I want a bit more underneath. think. Oh, not too many actually. That looks fine standing up. Lovely. Want some coming up a bit. So tell you what I'm going to do before I stick any more coming up and down. I haven't actually needed to use much there, have I? I want a little bit down that corner. Let me see if I just want a little pink one poking out there. That'll do. Poke that in there. There we go. And just build up your flowers wherever you want. Now, the other one, I'll show you how I did the message. So I love Dawn's lace as well. So we shall pick one of these and go for that one because it matches those purples down there. Can you see? So I think that'll be a nice one. And then this is a fiddly bit. But why not try the fiddly bit live? Why not? Let's go for it. So I've got some of Dawn's lace. So the lace collection comes from the Secret Garden. This is absolutely wonderful. Of course, you can use lace if you've got a piece of material lace, or you could run a, run a thread through a bit of ribbon. So if you've got like a little thin bit of ribbon, I think I've got some thin ribbon there. You want to run a thread along the edge and then pull it. You can make like a little frill, so it'll gather it on one side, and it's like making a rosette. So you could do that. But I love Dawn's lace, and this was a very fiddly one. Let me just see if I want that one. I think I'm going to use the thin one. Try that first. Ooh, and then what I did was I kind of started to fold it like I would if it was just a piece of cloth lace. I'm just doing some little mini folds like that. So this is the fiddly bit. You may not want to do this if you have dexterity problems. If you do, then I would suggest that you probably get one of the, I don't know, I'll just pull one out so you can see one of the sheets. We've got some Secret Garden lace doily motifs. So as well as the borders, you've got motifs. So if we found that that twirling around bit was just a bit too difficult, making the gathering in the paper, which you can see I did with this one. I just gathered it and then put it behind. If that's too hard for your fingers and it's a bit easier for you just to do some snipping, I'm not even going to snip around all the shapes. I'm just going to go around easily. So you can see it's got lots of little frills. Normally if it's me, I'm so fiddly and faffy that I'll go like this and I'll try and go in and out of all them little bits, but I'm just pretending that this is a bit difficult for me and I'm not as dexterous, so I'm just going to use my scissors. I'm not having to put much pressure at all. Let me go over there where you can see. So I'm putting it down near the bottom. The nice squishy scissors, these ones off Dawn, and I'm hardly having to actually do much cutting action. It's probably the worst bit for this, for anybody with dexterity problems, will be the static nature. So that's when you're not moving. So if you find that you have aches and pains with joints, sometimes it's because you're not moving them enough. And if you're having to do an action like this where you're holding your hand and your fingers in one position for a length of time, you might go into cramp or it'll be painful. It's the same. So that's one way to get a bit sore. So if that's the case, do a little bit of time. But that's a nice little doily. We could put that on there, and straight away we've got our little topper like that. And I haven't had to do any fiddling and faffing. So if you don't like fussy cutting that much, then that's actually not too bad. And that little lace doily, Dawn's given us them in circles and hearts and ovals, and that's perfect to go on there like that. I think that's lovely. But if you want to, you can do the fiddly bit. I do feel like this might be like watching paint dry if I'm doing this for hours on end. So I wonder whether we should just go for the easier option for this card. But basically when I did that, I just kept going and going and going until I had it long enough that it went all the way around. And you can see, because it's got like a little concertina effect, it does just start curling. And then I stuck glue around this edge and I stuck it on and just held it there. So if you want to do that concertina, do that. I think for this live, I'm going to do this one because that'll be easier for us while we're sitting waiting and watching. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that's quite a nice one. So I'm going to do that. Hi Patricia, thanks for joining us. And you think it was just made for it. This is the other ones. I love these. Oh, I mean, gosh, I love the hearts. Maybe we could even have stuck the heart on. Let me get that heart out, just in case we decide that we're going to stick this heart on top of that heart, because I love them. It's really, really gorgeous. So, honestly, if you haven't got the lace collection, I think you do need it. The borders are perfect, easy. Pop them on. That would go lovely on your tags as well, that we had before. We'll put them over the way somewhere there. Nice on the edges of vellum. Yeah, so we used it last week, I think, on the other card I made, which was the strawberry and cream one, wasn't it? I'll see if I've got them to show you. But let's go with this, because we've decided that that's nice and easy for our live to do that. I do think that's a better option when we're sitting here being live. Now, if you're like me and you accidentally stick it over there a little bit, I'll just snip in the corner with my scissors and get it off. Make sure I get it off my scissors quick. My sticky bit. That's it, so I've made that. And then I'm going to stick it on here. Ooh, she says I might need to put my head in and I cannot see. This is the bit I find the hardest doing these, that I need to be over the top of my table. There we go. Ta-da! So I've lifted that bit up, pop that there. What you could do as well, if you wanted to, I'll show you on this one. So when I was doing my little practice run, I actually cut into this doily to make it more like a little flower one. And you can see I also coloured it. So that was the white doily, like this one. But I used the lovely, lovely gold antique paste. And I went round, coloured the lace with that. So that was quite nice and successful as well. So let's pop this on here. I think I might need that up on foam pads as well, just to give us a bit more 3D. Oh, there's Albie again, having a little scrat about. Let's work out where this is going. Pop you there. What's that? Let me get this little heart cut out as well. Are we all still here? We're not all gone home and gone for our cups of tea yet. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for joining me. Thank you if you're watching on catch up. I appreciate you taking the time out. These videos are available on Facebook for 30 days. However, I do my best to save them all so that I can put them onto YouTube. I was waiting for Dawn to get organised with her YouTube, but if she still has problems with it, I will... Oh my goodness, Albie! I'll load them onto my YouTube, Angela for Crafts. And I need to get Albie and shut the door. I think Wesley's let him in here, thinking he wants to be with his mum. This is his new thing when I'm on lives. You remember when I started lives, he would sit quietly and be a good boy. Now, he's not a good boy. And he sits barking. Right, off you go. Go on with Wesley.
trying to write and he just keeps growling at me.
Right, take him in there, put his lead on and let him out to the front.
3 times.
You have already, right. Well, I'll try not to be too long. Go on. Well, he wants to go out there, but he'll just bark at things. If you go out with him and then bring him back in. Oh dear, sorry. He's a little toddler, isn't he? So that can go on there if we want to match up our little diddly doodahs. What do you call it? I think I'm going to match up our. I know I've already put a heart on there, but I'm just going to stick it on anyway. The other one that I had there, and then we've got our lace matching. This one I found some buttons, and because it had the stitching round I put a little button on it, which I thought was quite cute. But we could probably just put a gem or something in the middle of there if we want. Right now I feel like he's a little bit bare at the bottom still. He's not quite finished. I would like a little bit more coming out the top, so I'm going to look for some of my these ones, you know, the longer ones. I think we'll just look for these and see what we need. Some longer lengths. Let's pop these back in that I don't think I'm going to use for the minute. And we haven't got so many. I'm going to leave a couple of the little flowers out and a couple of little bits of leaves out. That we might want. There's another little blackberry. Yeah, keep them. I don't think I'm going to need the big ones, but I'm going to keep these little ones out. That'll do for now. And maybe we want to put a blackberry 3D there, just to join in with the other blackberry. I like to have things a little bit 3D, and I've put a lot of those on flat. Wesley's gone out with him, so he'll bring him back in again if he's barking. Unless he decides to ignore Wesley and I'll have to go out. There we go. So I'm going to put another little berry. Where can I put this little berry? I'm just going to pop it the right way around. I'll just pop it there next to a little staff, like that. And I would like a little bit of this popping up here. Work out where it's going to go. That'll go nice in there. So let me just get a little bit of glue. I don't need the gel for this because I've left a little bit of a gap, and I'm just going to put the glue down the bottom here and on the back of there, and then I'm just going to poke wherever we thought we had it just now. That was it, somewhere like that, and that's just going to bring in the flowers that are just sticking up a little bit. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, I'm going to put that one in as well. Pop these little fellas in here. Come and sit here. Albie, come here. Albie, come sit. Sit here. Sit with your mummy. Come on. Good boy. Albie, stay. Albie, sit here. There you are, in your bed. Come on. Come on in your bed. Be a good boy. There we go. I don't know what else we would like. Let's see, maybe another little purple one up there. I'm just poking them in now. I think we can stop. I'll probably do my usual, come back again tomorrow and fiddle again. But that's lovely. I'm enjoying just sitting playing and adding little bits in. That's annoying me slightly, that's sticking there. Don't feel as if it's very well held. That's it. Now, what I did as well, I went back in again after and I started putting little bits of stickles on. So that's your other little finishing touches that you could do. I'm using my little envelopes that you remember we made that envelope book at the very beginning of my doing lives. And I'm keeping little bits in the envelopes I've got because there's hundreds of them. So they're all nice and handy. And there we go. So let's get a stickle out. I've got some up there, look. This is my favourite one. well, one of my favourites, Stardust and Unicorn are usually the ones I go to. And you can see the little highlights on the blackberries. So I used that as where I wanted to put highlights with the stickles and the centre of flowers. So that's where I started with my sticklings. Is everybody getting kicked out? I'm so sorry, Facebook's causing trouble. It's so annoying, isn't it? Oh, bless you. Oh, that's a good idea, Joanne, swapping around your scissors. Yeah. So I've got these scissors I use. I've got some little ones I use. I've got these ones. I use those like spring-loaded ones. So yeah, that's a really good idea, is just to keep chopping and changing. So you get a rest on different muscles being used slightly by different scissors. That's a good idea. I'll just do a little bit, have a rest, do a little bit, have a rest. So let's get this out. I'm going to just get a bit out on, make sure it's coming. And I'm just going to pop a little bit on onto those highlighted bits where the light's hitting the blackberries. Put some in the middle of the flowers. There you go, and you can just take your time putting whatever you want on, any of your little bits that you want, like that. I think I put a little bit on his heart, on his helmet, on his hat, not helmet. Maybe we could put a little bit on his lantern, because he's got a little light. Put a little bit down there, make the lantern's shining. Oh, and I did actually go around and start putting a bit on each of the little white stars on the toadstool. So take your time, decide where you want things. Maybe we'll pop a little gem on, but I think that'll do for now. I'm probably going to put these two little hearts in glitter as well. Yeah, but you can do that yourself, and I can do that later and in the morning when I can see. It's getting dark in here. There you go. So that's the card that we've made, and you can just do however you would like for your embellishments, but it's a lovely little set. And I'll probably pop this one on tomorrow. I'll have a little play because I've got loads of embellishments ready, so I'll do that one as well. And we've already got the one I did the other day when I was doing my preparation. You can see all the glittery bits on there now. There you go. So hopefully that's been a good little show of the toadstools. Oh, hi Sarah. Sarah's here as well with us. And it will stand up nicely. Lovely. So really happy with those. Everybody's going to be getting these little toadstool cards because I've got loads of little bits ready to do. And that's your toadstools. And if you were not here earlier on, we also did our gift bag and our gorgeous tag. Those flowers are all on there now, nicely now. Lovely tag and my little gift bag. There you go. I'm not a very good bow demonstrator, am I? But that's all right. That's some of Dawn's lovely ribbon as well. So there we go. So they're the two projects that I had ready for you today to show. And I'm just going to look at the time. I'm all right for the time to do a little bit because I was wanting to go back to look at the books that we did and see if we could actually work out a little bit more of that and get a little bit further along. So if anybody wants to stay, I think I'm going to just do a little bit with the book. Thank you, Gilmore. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Sarah. And Carol. Lovely. Thank you, everybody. So, what we did a couple of weeks ago on the live, if you remember, we made this cover for the book. Can't remember how many. I used some mount board, and my front is 4 1/4 by about 6. I think I just made up the size of that and what would fit in my on my A4 again. And then when we're doing that, somebody was then asking in the live, did Dawn's glue work all right for material? So I went away and I started another little book, which is this one, and this is the material one. So that's worked all right as well with Dawn's glue. I've used some ribbon, Hessian type ribbon, as an extra bit of protection for that middle bit. But I thought we could maybe look at this one and just maybe do a little bit more on this today, if that was all right with everybody. So let's have a little look at what we've got here. I've got a couple of ribbons that I needed to put in and a bit of ribbon here. So when I was looking at the decoration, I thought, oh, I need to tie it with a ribbon. So I've cut a couple of bits of Dawn's ribbon. That's a lovely purple colour. I like this sort of shot silk. It's got a wire edge on it. And I thought, I don't know what I'm going to put on the front of here yet, because I'm going to get my dragons and my fairies and all them out. But I thought I might like a piece of ribbon around it. So you can see I've actually already planned and thought, yes, I'm going to put a ribbon there and put a bit of ribbon on there. And I've also put some tape here for these ones. So before I start any sticking down on the inside, these little bits that I want to put on, I don't want to see all of the gubbinses here. I want it all to be hidden. And when I'm using my ribbon as a tie, I don't want to see it all. So I've already put some the red liner on ready. So I thought we could stick the ribbon on, and that would be one stage done. Next on this one. And I did say that I would try and go back to this book so that you could see. And there's lots of different ways for you to do the insides. And I'm not an expert on these kind of things. I just have been learning as I go along. I know that Lorraine does lots of books. I know some of you ladies have been saying you've been making books and such like, and albums and journals. But hopefully you get a few little hints and tips as well when I'm doing these, and we can learn together. If I'm doing anything that doesn't work, we'll find out. Sorry, I'm just trying to get me tapes picking up and then I'm losing it again. I'm just using my pokey tool to lift that up, and then I'm going to pull this nice and tight, and hopefully I've done it right at the front there. And I just think that's lovely. So I don't know what we're going to have. We're going to have some kind of embellishment on the front, but I think that a bit of purple ribbon is just delicious. So that is going on there. Then I've put the ribbon here ready for the tie. I've put the tape, sorry, there ready for that tie in. And I'm hoping I've picked enough ribbon. I've chosen enough for when I come to oh, what am I saying? When I come to tie in a ribbon and tie it together, hopefully I've got enough length. I should do. There we go. And then I'll just stick this one on here as well. So that's that. So that should be enough for my tying my ribbon when I come to doing it. There you go. So we've done these bits ready, and the next part is deciding what we're going to do on the inside, how we're going to use it. So for these two books I've got different techniques. So that's sort of up to the stage where I want it ready. This is up to the stage where I want it ready, and I've got two different ways that we're going to do for the books. This one is the easiest one, which is the that little one, and I've picked, and that's concertina in card. So that's nice and easy. We'll have a concertina here and a concertina there, and then that'll close round. So that's a nice easy one to do. This one I decided that would have a go with the pages on the little ziggy zaggy. I can't think what you call it. This little ziggy zaggy spine. For wanting, my words are not coming tonight. So that's going to be going in there, and then I've got my little bits of pages come in, and we can stick them all in like that, and then there'll be a couple more there. So I thought we'd just show you how I did that bit next. So the spine part, if you see, I've got a little bit of an overlap here and a little bit of an overlap on that side. So that's, I want to actually make that a little bit bigger so that I know I've got room. I don't know if I've got enough card here, but I'm just going to have a go because I haven't measured and worked it out. I'll get another bit if I haven't. Maybe I should go for... Right, the other thing that I did was I measured the height. So I knew how big this bit of card was going to be, that I wanted it. So I think we said that was about 6. I want it to be somewhere in here, somewhere like that, so that it's going to be, you know, about that size. I've got a little gap at either end. Does that make sense? So I'm going to cut that down. We'll use this one and hope that I've got it sufficient. Where is the large trimmer? That's it. I'll go in there here, and I'm just going to trim that little bit off. Can't see very well for the light. There it is. That's it. There. So I've worked out the size that I want on that by the height of my book. It's got a bit of glitter on, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to get my little scoreboard here, where the little blue scoreboard toggly bit is. I've been using it before, but we'll just use that other little one. That'll have to do because I've got a different one. Right, so I'm going to give myself let's have a think. I think I give myself about 1 inch. I'm going to go to 1.5 inches, I think. Not even using the right tool here, so I don't know whether this is going to work very well, but we'll just have it. Oh, there it is. Get the one that actually goes with it. There we go. So that's gone to 1.5, and that's going to be a bit that just sits onto the book. There. Now, each of the little bits that stick up, these little bits that stick up, I've done them, these bits, at 1/2 inch. And then in between those, you can see there's a little 1/4 inch bit. So I'm going to start with 1/2 inch up. Oops, a daisy. I am a bit there. 1/2 inch. I'm going to do another 1/2 inch because that's going to be the bit that sticks up to each other. Then I'm going to do 1/4 inch because that's going to go down in the gap. Then I'm going to do another 1/2 and another 1/2, and then I'm going to go back to the 1/4 again. So that's 2 pages I've done. 1, 2 halves, there, 1 page, the gap, another page, a gap. Then we're going to go again for another 1/2 and another 1/2 and a gap. Let's go on here and see if I can do this again. So I've gone there, that's that one. So I've got a 1/4 one there, which is the gap. So I'm going to need a 1/2 here, a 1/2 and another 1/2. And then I think that's going to be enough because I haven't got much room on there. So that's going to be my other bit that was there, 1.5. Right, so this is probably, I don't know, I think on the other one I've got here, the book, I've made more pages on it, but we'll just show you the principles of it. So hopefully you can see that I've got a 1/4, a 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/2, a 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/2, a 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/2, a 1/4, a 1/2, a 1/2. Then we're going to get rid of that. It'll be a minute again. It's just not behaving. Out. No, you're not going outside. Oh, and that's your water. You just stood in. Wesley was trying to be helpful bringing it in here, but he's just stood in it. Sorry, I'm just mopping up a large patch of water. Wesley brought his water in here for him and shut the door on him, but then he's just stood in it. Oh dear, never mind. Right, now I'm going to get ready to do some folding. I'm going to do all my scoring and my burnishing. Okay, so I'm going to just do, these are going to be mountains. So in between your two half size ones, you're going to do a mountain fold. So that's a mountain. Let's make sure you can see that. I'm going to fold it over again. There's the mountain, like that. Okay, and then that little quarter is going to be our little space. So then I'm going to make that in a valley. It's quite a little bit of a tricky one. It should go. It might be easier for me to go the other way and then that way. Like that. And then like that. That's it. And then make sure you're burnishing down well. So this is probably, I should have done the easy way first for you, but this is the fiddly way. There we go. And then we're going to do another one where we are coming up again. We're making a mountain to make our page. I hope this is making sense. And then the 1/4 inch part is our little valley that we're going to fold down. Let me just see if I've got that right. Yep, up there. So I need to make my 1/4 inch and uppy bit a valley. And then my 1/2 inches are the mountains. This is the fiddliest bit. I've used a really good bit of Dawn's black card to do it with. I'm going to go down with that one. And I'm going to go up with that one. And then I've just got one little fella, me matey, in there that I haven't done. That's it. There we are. So that's the hard work done. So I've got a mountain, then a little flat bottom, like a little bottom valley, another mountain, a little flat bottom, and another mountain. So if I put them all there for you to see on the screen, let me just make sure I've got these all well burnished, because you want them to be really well burnished so they sit in the right place. So I'm just going to go back over them again and then I'll show you the shape. And then when you've seen this and how fiddly it is, you might all decide that you just want to do concertina ones, because they are just nice and easy. There you go. So you've got that shape. We've now got little valley, little mountains and little plateaus in the bottom. I don't think they're called a plateau when they're down the bottom, but it's a valley, isn't it? A flat bottom valley and mountains. Does that make sense? And then these little bits that are sticking up, we're going to stick them together and they are going to be with pages. So I've got 4 there, so that can be 4 pages. Okay. So let's just show you what we're going to do there. Turn it over. So I'm working on this side. I'm going to put the tape, sorry. Oh, bank holiday in Ireland and break up for, is it breaking up for the summer? Oh, fantastic, Michelle. That's great. You've been waiting for that, haven't you? I know. Brilliant. So if you are purchasing anything from Dawn, you will need to do the digital downloads, because at the minute she hasn't got postage sorted for physical items to Ireland. But you can maybe message her and see. I think we've got another lady in this group who's from Ireland as well, so she can't get anything, because now she's got all this digital collection, you can nicely just purchase it on the website, download it, and then that's it. So we're going to stick these two together. There we go. And then that's our little mountain done. Everything should follow suit. Yeah, been a long term. I used to work in a school as a teaching assistant. So I know how it feels. Those terms sometimes just are never ending. And I wasn't even a teacher, so I didn't have all the responsibilities and all the forms. Oh, the paperwork. We used to just try to look after our teachers, because the amount of paperwork that they had to do and the stress they were under was just ridiculous. So I'm going to stick it again. So I've left my little 1/4 inch base. I'm sticking my mountain bits together. There you go. There's another one. Okay, so I've done that with the one I've made over here. Done them all, and I've been left with this. Actually, I might just do it on this one, and then we can see, because I think 4 pages I can put some folds and whatnots in. I've put 6 on the other one, but if we do 4, when we come to do pages, we could always add more flaps if I've got a bit more room. And I've got 2 different ways to show you on the pages. So this is the stage that I was wanting to show you for today, is doing this binding bit for the spine. After school leader, it's still the same. You've still got all the same stuff to do and Ofsted to do, and all the stress that goes with it. There we go. I'm coming to the end of my roll, but fortunately I did buy Dawn's pack, a large pack of red liner tape, which was £9.99. So I have many more. I do not have a shortage of red liner. She still has that available. I'm not paid any commission. I just like to help get the sales for her. And get my next little bit on, and then the last one. Hopefully I've done these all right. There we go, and that last one over as well. Right, and then we can burnish them all to make sure they're all happy in their little ways. And that they're all going to open and close where we want them to. So that's made 4 pages. Now, there is a way to do them where you stick pages together and you slide them over. So say this was my piece of card, I would have it, that would be my page. And actually that's not big enough to show you. Let's see if this will do it. I need a piece of paper, really, just a piece of plain paper. Let's get a bit of white. I've got some behind me here. So to make like a little slot, say that was the page that we're going to make. I want to do it that way. We might cut our page, fold it like that. We'll do it the big big side, so you can see. See, I was just cutting this down to there. This is not the actual one I'm doing. This is just to show you a way. We can make a page like that, which would have the same size as that one, obviously. We're not going to have it a different size. Like so. Just a little bit bigger. We then are going to stick this over. So you would end up, you do need that little extra bit. It'll slot over the top of there. Like that. So it sits in it. And then you stick down that side. And you have a page, but you also have a pocket. So that's one way to do it. So we could do that and stick that there and we'd have a pocket. Do you get that? So I'd be going down that bit, gluing down there. So that would be a page which you stick in, you do the lid over, and then you've got a little extra pocket in there. So that's one way to do it. The way that I did it on here was I just got my pages the sizes I wanted and I cut them and I mitered them there at either side and then stuck them on with tape, and I just put it on one like that, put it on the next one, put it on the next one, and then we could, if I have got the other ones handy, leave them under here. Let's have a look and see. You can put that one on there if we want to. I'm going to put them onto the same way as I've done it before. So put it on. Just a minute, because I don't want to get it wrong. That's on that side. That's on that side. That's on that side. That side. So just check I've got the right size page, because some of them I had to cut differently, and we're not the right size. Yeah, so the size of my page I just did by working out what was going to fit inside my book from the top and the bottom. So I'll give that a little mitre on there, tiny little bit on the corner, tiny little bit on that corner. I think I did a little bit of a mini score down that side, so it would sit on. How many did I do it by? I can't remember. I'm losing all my tools. I think I did it by that little bit. There we go. And then I'm just going to stick that one onto there, like that. Slightly too big, this one, I can tell. I've cut it, that one's a bit, that's why I was measuring them, because I don't think I've quite got these the right size. But I'll just show some of them I hadn't got ready right. Just go like that a little bit and see if it's it'll work. That'll do. And then I'm sticking my bit to there. I've used tape again. Get the thin tape. I'm being careful not to go right up to where that fold is, because I want the page to sit on. I'm going to do it on here. Should be all right. That's it. Yeah, I think Dawn's got some holiday Christmas things to come out, so Carol's going. Oh, that's all right, Carol, no worries. You've seen the main projects. This is just the side project that we're doing when we manage to. I'm just doing it a little bit as I go, and then we can spend a live actually decorating it with the dragons and the fairies and whatnot. I'm just going to stick it in there. I cannot see if I'm a light. And I've put my... You cannot see what I'm doing, but there you are. When you're in the light you can see. And I probably just want to trim that page down because I've done it slightly wonky in comparison to the others. A little bit off. But if this page is not a happy page and I don't like it because it's wonky, then I'll probably stick another flap on it to come down that inside, or do something with it to hide it. There you go. So we're sticking my pages on, which I've measured up that will fit inside the book. Let me get the book and show you. I know that it's going to sit in there and work all right, so I've measured those up. Let's have a go with this one. That was nice. And what we'll do, I'm not going to put the pages in yet, I'm just going to stick this in to show you this stage. I've shown you that other one. Now what I would like to do is get plenty of tape on there and plenty of glue on there, and that should hold. Yeah, black on purple is very dark for you to be able to see what I'm doing, but it's fine. When I get all of the creatures out, the things out, will make them nice. So I'm just going to stick a bit of tape on here, down that middle section. Make sure that that holds it all in place. You can hear Albie barking out there. He'd be driving Wesley demented. He's been such a bad boy. And maybe a little bit of glue. Yeah, I didn't think when we made it very quickly, and I just picked up one of the background papers and went with it. So now this is the colours that we're working with, but it shall be lovely when it is done. And I like all these blacks and purples, so I'm more likely to be using it then. Right, I'm going to hire a load of glue on here, which really, I could have used that, slap it on. I'll just put this on. I just didn't want it to come off, and I don't know if this glue's as good as Dawn's is for me to rely on. Let's go for it. Glue everywhere, because I don't want the spine to come out. Tape and glue on there. There we go. And then we're going to stick this down. So I want to get my pages in the spine in the middle. So hopefully, let me have a little go, popping them in there. Hopefully I've got that in the middle-ish there, and in the middle-ish there, and then I'm going to really get that pressed down. Lovely. Sorry, I'm just going to put my glue thing on before I end up with it blocked. This desk needs a proper tidy. It's a proper mess. I'll give it a good stick down on there. All these bits sticking in. There. Now we need to make the these fold up again. So I've got a line here. I can see where my you can see it at the bottom on this bit on that flower there, that's where the line is for me to go up to make the back come in and out. I'm not explaining myself very well. This is what happens when it gets late. So I'm going to just start a little bit going into that channel. And I just want to be really careful with it. I'm going to go in with that one. It's a nice big one. Lovely. And then I'm going to get in with my corner, and then I'm going to start bringing this side up and hopefully stretch those fibres a little bit as I'm going, so that it should hopefully come up nicely like that. And we'll do the same on the other side. Find the little channel that we had here and go into that. There we go. And then as I'm doing this burnishing, stretching the fibres and bringing the bulk back up that way as well. That's it. So there we have our book and our spine on there and our pages. So I've just put the 4-page one in, but we can add, if we've got room in the book, we can add some more than that. Otherwise 4 pages is not going to be very many, but it's fine. We can do some flaps and lifts. This has just been made off the cuff without much planning. We just did it, didn't we? And then we'll get our ribbon and decide how long that's going to be. But there you go, and we'll make a cover. So I'm going to leave that one as it is at the minute. I stuck a page in the other one so you could see how to stick a page in on my little mock-up copy, which I can put in another one, and we'll put some pages into this one next time, and we'll put some colour, some card or something on here to hide that. So we might well put a bit of plain black on either side. All right, so that's coming along nicely. That's the next stage of that one. So we'll do that next one another day as well. And Albie is going loopy. 10:15. I would keep going, as you know, but then you know that tomorrow I will be good for nothing. So I don't want to go for much longer, which is why I'm not finishing off this bit of the book. But we've got the principle of that little binder, and that we're going to stick pages to each of those little bits, which is then going to be our book. So we'll do the pages next time and work out how we're going to get some extra bits and pockets and whatnot in. So that's that one. Albie's going mad. So that's part 2 or part 3 by now for that. Coming on nicely. This one, I'm going to create this twice, so I'll show you this one next time. This is from one piece of A4, and I've just cut down it in half down that middle. I measured it with my book to see that it was going to fit, the pages were going to fit in and they were going to be the right width, and then I scored. So I will tell you what I cut them to if you want to know the measurements. I have cut this so that it is 4 inches there, 4 inches wide, and then I have scored at 4 inches and scored at 8 inches. Because it's A4, your third piece is not 4 inches. But not to worry, so I've done 2 of those, like that. And then what I did with my smaller piece on this card, I actually decided to make it as a pocket, because I'm going to attach these 2 together to make them bigger, because that's not much of a pull out in a book. So that's what I did. and that's what I was going to show you how to do, and then we can stick it in. So should I just do that quickly, because it didn't look as if it was going to take very long, did it? And then we can go to bed. I'll go and get a cup of tea. Right, put this down the middle. So 4 and 4, because this is a piece of A4 card. 4 inches. That's that one. Just check this is 4 inches, because I know 8, it's not quite 4 inches wide, it's 8 inches wide, it's a little more. Put them both to the 4 inches. Marvellous. And do a little score. This is nice and easy. This is the best way to make them, because it's nice and easy. Making concertinas, you can do them just whichever size you want to match your work, your book. So that's a 4. Yeah, that's going to be 4 as well. And do that there. And then that little one is not quite 4. So there's 1. I'll do the next one. Don't mind if you're all ready to go now, you know. I'll just do this one quickly, and then I can go and see to Albie. And 4 again there, and then that one is not quite. So I've done those. And then, because I'm going to stick them together, I decided to stick them together as a pocket. So I'm just going to chop off a little bit there, like so. And I'm going to get a circle punch, which should be in the corner over here. There it is. I'll just get a circle punch, and we'll make a little notch. You can be careful and do it, you know, so it's in the right place. That's a bit wonky. And then I've got my card here and my card there. I'll show you on the one I've got ready already. I've got 2 pieces, so that didn't take long. That was 1 piece of A4. So now you can see I've got 1 piece of the 4 and the extra bit. The 4 and the extra bit where I've cut it down. And I've put some tape around this corner, made my little pocket ready, and I'm just going to stick them together. Thank you, Gilmore. Is he coming back in again? This is my last bit, Wesley. I'm coming off.
I'm sorry.
Because he's really annoying.
He's the worst thing.
No, it's because he hasn't been out yet, because it was too hot in the day. So that's why he's not a settled boy. I'm going to put that on there because it's got a little white splodge on there. I'm going to put it this way, and then we'll just stick it on there and there. So I find this quite difficult because my light casts a shadow. I can't always see what I'm doing. There we go. So I've created a concertina. And in the middle part of this concertina, I've created a pocket in there as well. So that was just to stick them together. I've made a pocket. And then what I thought I would just do, hold this behind. This is the inside. So I don't need to cover this bit because I'm going to use my concertina. So I'm going to stick that on there. And then that's my pull out bit that I can see on that side, and I can see on that side. Maybe that wants to be on that side. Don't know. Let's see what looks nice. So pull it up like that. And pull it up like that. Doesn't really matter which way around you go. It's up to you, isn't it? I think I'm just faffing now. So whichever way around you want to stick it. Shall I have it coming open like that? I think I will. So I'm going to put my glue on here. I know, I'm a terrible thing, aren't I? And poor Albie's screaming and screeching. Right, let me stick this one down and then that's it. And I'll do the other one because I've showed you how I made it. But this is nice and easy. Probably would want to use a bit more red liner to make sure it's not going to fall out. And I'm going to stick this down. That acts as my bit to cover up the mess as well. But we'll then go in there. Now what my mistake was, what I was going to do was put my ribbon in. So I'm going to pull it out when I finish in a minute and do it again. But that's just so you get the idea. So I've got a nice big concertina there that I can decorate and I can put all manner of things on. And I'm going to stick these two together. Again, the same as the other one. So let's just pretend that's in there. That one will go in that side. That one will go in that side. Come together and there's plenty of room there, you can see. Albie used to be really good actually on the lives, and he's just recently started to behave like a toddler because I think if I haven't taken him for a decent walk beforehand, he's not happy. So this is actually my fault, but it's too warm in the day at the minute, so I'll wait until it's late. So that one I think is a nice easy way to do a little book, is just to have concertinas that you pull out. And I just worked out the size of my concertina by the size of my book. So you didn't really even have to do any measuring if you didn't want to. Now, because I want to stick a ribbon under here, I'm just going to pull this off while it's still going to let me. Actually might get away with it. And we're going to say goodbyes. There, I'll probably get a ribbon under that now. I've managed to pull a little bit up. Right, so what have we done? Albie, what have we done? We have made Albie. Right, I'm going to show everybody what we've done and then I'm going to come and see to you. Okay? I'm going to see to you. I'm going to look after you like a mammy does. And you're going to get attention. And I'm not going to be sitting in this room. Let's just show the ladies what we've done and then we can go. Right, so we've got two toadstools, very similar. Just put my hand into the stickles. Remember, wait till the stickles dries. So I shall finish that one. I'm going to do this one tomorrow as well, and I'll put them all up on the page for you to see. There's two. Put all these over here. And then the other thing we did was our lovely gift bag for our bottle of mini Prosecco and other items with a fabulous, lovely label, which I love. I think that's gorgeous. And the gift bag has come out really well. Okay, so that's what we've done today. So I hope that's been all right for you live. I'm sorry I'm very quickly cutting you short, but I think he's had enough. And it is late and I do have to remember to stop on time, otherwise I'm exhausted tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I shall tidy up my desk. I'll finish these all off and get them posted on the page. Thank you for watching back, anybody who is watching on catch up. Thank you for sticking with me, the late night crew, and hopefully we'll see you again next week. Probably the same again, Saturday night. Unless anybody else is wanting to come on and do that slot, I'll just fit in around everybody else. We've got Dawn tomorrow, and Dawn is on at 7, and we have Dawn on Monday at 8, and then we have probably got Lorraine back from her holidays, so she should be on Tuesday night. All right, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Take care. Thank you.